What's going on, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know who it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, the podcast inspiring young rock and metal fans to discover new music and find a place so they can connect and feel accepted. That's what we're here about today, and welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast, everybody. This is a very special episode because I learned about this band from a YouTube comment, and oh my god, this is something where this is a band that is unique. Like, you're going to look at them and think that you're going to get that feeling of like the Warning, BabyMetal, Ginger, why they're unique. You're going to get the feeling right here. And this one, oh my lord, you get to learn all about them. Before we jump into the podcast, though, I want to thank support, which comes from Phoenix Fitness. So you guys all know, what are my two favorite things to do in the world? One, do these podcasts. I get a lot of energy from them. My other favorite thing, go to concerts and jump in those mosh pits. And I like to mosh my way, which is I need to be in there from the beginning of the first band to the end of the last band. No breaks in between. And I need to be strong enough so that I can deliver some of those hits and take some of those hits from the absolute biggest people, because I'm not the biggest person in the pit. I'm not the smallest, but I'm not the biggest. So I need to make sure I'm what I like to call mosh pit fit. To be mosh pit fit, I have to be in the gym consistently working out, doing a lot of weightlifting, a lot of cardio to build up on that endurance and that stamina. But I also need to make sure to achieve those fitness goals of being mosh pit fit. And for you to achieve your fitness goals, you need to make sure that you're preparing your body right and recovering right for those workouts so you can continue to do this day in and day out. And that's where Phoenix Fitness comes in. They made different products to help you achieve those fitness goals, such as different types of pre-workout, both stim and stim-free blends. I use their stim-free stuff because, guys, I got way too much energy. I don't need any extra. They also have different types of BCAA recovery compounds to help you absorb nutrients in your muscles post-workout. They also have different types of proteins that help you build muscle, collagen-based protein, plant-based protein, whey-based protein. I use their chocolate malt-flavored whey protein because that's just good stuff. Different types of creatines, multivitamins, literally anything you might need to achieve your fitness goals, Phoenix Fitness has for you. So our listeners and viewers on YouTube can get 20% off using the code CPP20 at fnxfit.com. Link description of the podcast below. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness. Now time for our feature presentation. A trio of women in a band from Indonesia, all wearing hijabs and absolutely meaning what they say. I cannot wait for you to enjoy this episode. Please welcome the ladies from Voice of Baceprot to the podcast. Are you ready? Oh yeah, you are. Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast, thanks to a reaction video I did on one of the recent BabyMetal songs, someone decided to put in a comment that said, hey, you should check out this band from Indonesia. It's 3 women, and they're absolutely incredible. Go check them out. And I decided, you know what? I love when people send me stuff. So this band coming to you right now from Indonesia, they just released a brand new song called The Enemy of the Earth Is You, which you should go check out. But before you do that, let's get to know much more about the band. So please welcome, I'm going to mess up these names, Sitti, Weedy, and Marsha. I think I said that right. I hope I did. From Voice of Baceprot. So ladies, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
Ooh, thank you so much.
Thank you for being on. How are you doing right now? I know the song just released. Just how has everything been going for you, and how has everything been going for the band as of late?
Oh yeah, so far is all good. Everything is on its ways.
As long as everything is going good and everything is going smooth, then can't complain about that, right?
Yeah.
Starting out now, again, from you have the new song out. Now everything seems to be going well. One thing I'm actually interested in is, especially from your standpoint, from all 3 of you, when it came to first discovering rock and metal music and wanting to create the band, how did all of you discover music at the beginning, and specifically this kind of music, and how did you all get into it?
Okay. So before VOB, we were just casual music listeners. We weren't brought up in musical upbringing. So it never really impacted us that much. But ever since Abah, our counseling teacher, um, introduced us to our respective instruments. We grew love and respect toward music, right?
Yes, and I had never really thought about pursuing music, let alone playing in a band. In fact, I wasn't a fan of metal at first.
Yeah, yeah,
I used to
all of
make
us.
beats on my school table out of habit, and Abah noticed that.
Yeah,
Hence my new foundation for drumming.
yeah. So, since we got into music together, we are basically have the same background story.
Yeah.
We learned to play musical instrument at the same time, and after that, we tried to perform the songs that we worked with Abba, our counseling teachers, for the very first time. And during that moment, we felt an adrenaline rush through us. Everything just clicked, yeah, between us and the music, and it felt amazing. It
Yeah.
was like all our worries and bad feeling just went away. And from that moment onwards, we decided to focus on developing VOB together. Yeah, that's also the thing that make our chemistry more strong. Yeah, as a band.
Band.
I would say just listening to that, I mean, your chemistry as a band would have to be strong, coming together like that, really embracing the instruments that you had, really embracing the music overall, and just being open to something that, maybe as a kid or maybe growing up, you were never really potentially thought of as an interest. Maybe being in a band wasn't the thing you thought you were going to do. Maybe playing an instrument wasn't a thing you thought you were going to end up doing, but you found something that you loved, you found something that you really connected with, and created something absolutely incredible off of it. So that must be just kind of looking back and retrospect and really getting a reflection on the past to now. It must be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it was really amazing. Like, we believe that music has like um big energy.
Medicine.
Yeah, great energy.
I mean, that's why I love music. That's why I go to as many concerts as possible. And just, you see a mosh pit open up, I'm in the middle of it the entire time, because it's that energy, it's that drive, that happiness that music brings, that just brings so many people together, that connects people like myself, the fans, with people like you who are making music, who are creating this environment for us to absolutely feel that energy and connect and just really feel like we're part of something great. We're part of this absolute beautiful family. So for that, as artists, we have to say thank you for, being people that are going to do that to create this beautiful community of rock and metal fans that love your music.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed.
So specifically when it comes to the styles of music, because I have to ask this, is rock and metal as a genre rather popular in Indonesia, or is it something that is really not seen as a primary form of music that people really listen to in the country?
In Indonesia, metal is really popular. A lot of metal bands in here. But at the time in our village, metal is not a common thing. Like, yeah, not it's not a popular.
Let me ask, why is it not popular? Is there a specific reason why it isn't? Why do you think it's not popular where exactly you are in, your area of the country or your part of the culture, wherever it might be? Why is it not as popular as it is for other places with Indonesian metal?
um, I don't know, but maybe because our village is just small village, uh, and it's so far from Jakarta, the city. It's very far from the city, and most of people in there like more like dangdut, the traditional music, not metal.
Coming from the American perspective, that does make a lot of sense, where from places here, even here in America, when you're outside of those major cities, there's a lot of people that are listening to either more just whatever is popular or what we call country music, where, of course, you're still going to have people that listen to rock and metal in all these other places, but you're going to have much more people that are going to listen to that stuff, where if you get in a larger city environment, it seems like rock and metal here really thrives a lot more. So in Indonesia, it seems like for what we experience here to what you experience is very similar in that regard.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Yeah, so basically what I said was in America, it's very similar to where in, outside of the city, you don't hear a lot of people listening to rock and metal as much as some of these other genres that are more, well, even for American traditional, like what we call country music. So it's similar to what you experience, where in a more in outside of the city, in a small towns or small villages, the music is much more traditional, whereas in the city, metal and rock are much more prominent. So we can, as Americans, can eat, and even as Europeans, anyone that's in those primary places where rock and metal are large and have a great following, can really relate to what you're dealing with and what you're going through, and how rock and metal is in Indonesia as well. So we can feel that, and we can understand that.
Yeah, yeah. Because we are when we are stay in our village, we just listen to music from the TV. So yeah, it just
Popular
yeah,
music.
it's just popular music, like yeah, something like that.
Well, hopefully over time, your music will end up becoming the popular music that gets to have everyone in the country listening to it, everyone in the world listening to it, just really getting into it. So that's what we're hoping for going forward.
Yeah.
So one other main thing that I am curious about is not only when it comes to the three of you being women in rock and metal, but specifically, because I looked on the website, I was looking through as much as I could for the band, and seeing it right now in person with all three of you wearing the, I want to make sure I pronounce it right, but I feel like I mess it up, wearing the hijabs. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't want to mess it up too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, okay, thank you. So with having that, have you experienced any difficulties, or have you experienced any challenge being in rock and metal, especially, being not only three women in a band, but also wearing hijabs as well?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Of course.
of
Of
course.
course.
Especially when we are musicians who pursue a career in male-dominated field,
Yeah.
much like the rest of the world. This country still upholds patriarchy too.
Yeah.
There are times when we still have to deal with the kind of perspective that position us simply as eye candy and as vulnerable musicians.
Yeah.
Um, from our earliest experiences, we were seen as sells out. We had people belittle us and our ability as musicians.
Yeah.
They refused to see us as real performer.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we are young, we are women,
Yeah.
we play metal music, and we wear hijabs. Um, we think it's quite a risky combination to begin with. But yeah, it's not surprise that there is still a stigma that lingers over us, even to this day, that we wear the hijab as a gimmick to gain more popularity. But yeah, it's simply it's simply not true, and we are getting tired of it.
I can understand getting tired of it, especially if it's a consistent thing that keeps being brought up. It's a consistent thing that happens. And I can understand still seeing, wearing it as a gimmick, because it is something that is unique to you, especially within rock and metal. I had never seen, and I have never heard of any other band wearing hijabs on stage and always doing it like you. And not only doing it, just on stage, but continuing to do it in your daily lives as well, along with your faith, along with your culture. And I do understand what you're saying too when it comes to the challenges you faced as women, because it is a male dominated field. And as time has gone on, have more women in rock and metal become more prominent? Absolutely. We're seeing it happen a lot more, but it's still not at the same rate that we could be seeing it to where there are bands that are much more male dominated that are coming to the top. And some of those bands that are female dominated or female fronted, all female, sometimes it's taken them a little bit longer to get there, but we are seeing more success like that happening. And another band that is from around where we are that is having a lot of that success is a band called The Warning, because they are also all three girls, three sisters in one band, and they're playing with bands like Muse, they're playing with Hailstorm now, they're playing with Evanescence, like they're playing with these major artists, and it's because one, their sound is good, two, their live performance is great, and three, people can connect with them. And when I listen to your music, and when I saw your image, when I saw the hijabs, I saw it was three girls, I thought, this feels like this could be something massive. This could really connect, similar to how a band like The Warning is, because everything that I see there is there. It's just, how can we as a metal community really start to get more support behind Voice of Baceprot and really show more people what you can do?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kevin. We are grateful that you understand our feeling, because sometimes it's kind of hard to explain it to other people.
And I can understand that as well. One of the main reasons why I think I can really understand it more is I've had so many of these conversations with so many other people before, and being much more focused in on, rock and metal, especially over the past, I'd say 5 years, I've seen a lot more of this happen. I've seen a lot more of these issues come up and be talked about, and seeing again when it comes to, at first, when people might look at you, of course, you have the hijabs on, it's going to be something that people absolutely take notice of. And unfortunately, if they have certain, ideas or thoughts or prejudices in play, they may step out from that. But with rock and metal, we're supposed to be this huge welcoming community. If this is something new, this is something that is completely different. This is something that hasn't been seen before. So let's go give it a shot. You never know if you might like it. The same thing happened with a band like BabyMetal. It was different. It was new. But when they first came out, people at first were very hesitant of it, very dismissive of it. And now look at what they're doing. They have 4 albums out. They're playing massive venues. Yeah. When they come over to the US, they're playing in front of 3,000-4,000 people every time they play a show, and they're headlining. They're big, even here. So it's all about, when it comes to Voice of Baceprot, it's take everything out of it. It's good music. Just give it a chance. It's something new. You never know if you're going to like it unless you actually try it. So it's just all about being open to the experience. I was open to the experience, and let me say, I was very happy that I was.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
So when it comes to getting more people to listen to Voice of Baceprot, what would you like to see? What would you like us to do in order to help spread your music worldwide and help spread who you are as a band worldwide? What can we do to help you out?
Maybe just don't forget to listen to our song. And also check out our new single, The Enemy of Art Issue. Yeah. And it's already in Spotify, YouTube, and
all
digital platforms.
I think that's well said. I might add a little bit more to it as well. One thing that we can do as fans is, yes, we can listen to music. Go and follow the band on social media. Go and follow them on Spotify. Subscribe to their channel on YouTube, because that shows a lot more support. But what we can also do, and this is something that is very important as well, use the power of our words and the power of our ability to speak to other people. Just talk about the band. If you like the band, and talk about it to your friends, just bring it up. Just play some music for people. Just add it to your playlist. Share it with people, because if someone that you really know well is going to say, hey, go listen to this song, I think you might like it, it's going to be a lot more likely that person actually listens to that song than by any, social media ad, any ad on Spotify, anything like that, because the connection is there between people. So literally, just go and listen to it. And if you like it, just start talking about it. Go to a different Facebook group or go to Reddit and just start talking about it. It's going to get more people to listen and check out the band, check out these amazing women, and just potentially get to a point where we could see them go on tour with BabyMetal, with The Warning. We could see them come to the US and go on tour with Hailstorm. They could go on tour in Europe with Within Temptation. It can happen.
Yeah. We hope so. Yeah, it will happen to us in the future. Maybe we hope so.
It can happen in the future, and I'm putting it on everybody right now. We have to go and make sure we follow this band. We have to make sure we talk about them. We have to make sure we talk about their music and share it with everybody else.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of music, because you do have the brand new single, The Enemy of the Earth Is You, which is out as of right now for everyone to go and listen to. What was the inspiration behind this song, and how did you write it as a whole? That's always something I'm very interested in, because coming from your background and how you discovered music and how you got into it, your style of writing can be very different from anybody else's. So that's something I'm very curious about.
So this is actually the old song, our old song. Because when we starting out, we wrote our song with the help of our teacher, Abah Erza. But for the last 3 years, it has been all by me. So I will usually write lyrics based on our chats and discussion. And after that, I will give it to Widi and Sitti to tell them what these are talking about. And then we will go to the studio or just jam at home to find the right composition for the song.
Interesting. I did read that, you had written music with your teacher to start out, but it is very good to hear that you're taking that full process in now and really being a part of it, because when I was listening to the music, you can tell there's a little bit more of this evolution from each single. And that speaks to just being able to work with work together, work on these songs as a whole collective between the three of you, and really work that chemistry out. So these songs come out as strong as you want them to. They sound as good as you want them to. So it absolutely makes sense. And now for the rest of you, what's it like after okay, we got the lyrics of the song, we got where the song is going. How do you create your parts, and how do you work alongside with this writing process to create songs that you are, especially with something like The Enemy of the Earth Is You?
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of hard because City doesn't have drum at home. Yeah, so we had to go to the studio so we can make like just jamming at the studio. Sometimes I got the rip first, and then I will give it to Widi, and then Widi will jam with Sitti. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So at first it goes one person to the next to the next.
That's right.
Okay. Again, I'm not saying one style is good. I'm not saying one style is bad. It's every band has a completely different writing style, has a completely different writing process. And as long as the writing process does two things: one, it works for the band, so it works for the three of you as a whole. And secondly, it works to produce the best music possible, then that writing style is absolutely perfect for you. But Sitti, I have to ask this question. If you don't have drums at home, how do you practice? Like, how do you practice it? It's blowing my mind. Like, how do you set this up?
For practice in my home, I use my pillow.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
she use her pillow for
hit on
sticking.
pillow.
Yeah, for sticking, and then sometimes we make a fake drum from matching
Ye- no,
matching band.
yeah. So City has like drum pad, and then
Mhm.
she used the pillow for the kick.
Oh,
Yeah, for the kick, and then yeah, just practice like that.
Oh my. That was not what I was expecting, but I don't think there could have been a better answer than that because, first off, that is absolutely innovative. You're finding a way to practice even when you don't have a drum set at home. So, using the pads, using a pillow for your, literally just kicking the pillow. It's got to be a challenge because you're not hearing the proper sounds that even if you're writing,
Yeah.
you're not hearing the proper sounds. However, that just shows two things for me. One, it shows the ingenuity of all three of you to work together in this writing process and to create music when the limitations that you have where you don't have a drum set at home. But on the other side of it, it just shows this absolute incredible talent that's behind the band as well. If you're able to write and create and all you have for drums to really practice on and maybe work some of this stuff out before going to the studio are drum pads and a pillow, because you just don't get that sound to come through. You have to rely on the sounds that you think are going to come out, the sounds of and the trust that you have in your own writing process, in your own writing style, and in your own ability. And hearing again how the songs have come out, that is something that is absolutely amazing. So I must applaud you for that. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Now we just have to find a way to get you a drum set at home. I mean, that's got to be the next step. Get you a real drum set.
That's right.
Shoot, I have to start like a fundraiser that's going to say, get City a drum set. And then we're just getting a drum set for home to practice on. Why are we doing that? Because they're already making great music. Let's help them make it even better.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard for me and Weedy too, because we can't hear the sound
Sound.
from the drum, so we just use our feeling.
Or use our voice
Our
like
voice like
tuk tak
tuck 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 like that.
But I think a good amount of times too, a lot of artists when they're starting out and they're just trying to build a song, it's, they're trying to find a beat, they're trying to find a melody, and they'll do that too where they're just kind of speaking through like,
Yeah.
and you're getting the idea behind it, but you're just not getting that full sound to really try and work it out and to see if it's going to work in the song. Right when you're working on it, you have to wait until you're actually in the studio to see, is that going to work? So there's a little bit more of a risky part of it at play where, again, you're just not sure what's going to come out if it's in your mind and what's going to be on the kit is going to be the same. But still, the ability to make music like that, it still shows that you're willing to do whatever it takes to make the music you love, to pursue this, and to create this, take the dream that you have with music and make it as best as possible. And that is something that everyone should be inspired by. Everybody should be.
That's right. Indeed.
See, I'm just thinking about this too, and being inspired by just what you're talking about too. I'm thinking, shoot, there's things that I'm doing right now that maybe I should, try some other things, because if I'm doing things and it's not working out, but you don't have a drum set and you're creating great music, there's no excuse for me not to create some great things, right?
Yeah, City really hard work for it.
Sitti's hard work is going to inspire us all on this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now, again, going back into the song, now kind of thinking about the writing process, when it came to the lyrics and the message behind this song specifically, what was the inspiration for that, and what is the meaning behind the song overall?
For the enemy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So In short, this song is the sound of our disgust with the normalization of various natural distractions in the name of the economy and tourism. This happens a lot in our village in Garut, West Java. And yeah, we think it's a global issue now. So we want to shout it even louder.
I like the fact that you created a song off of that as well, and another piece of it to really connect with your village as a whole. But the way that it was written too, especially when I went through it trying to figure out what the meaning is, because I'm gonna dive as deep in every song that I possibly can. Be prepared to talk about it because I want to be ready. And when I went through it, I did pick up on a lot of the natural disaster stuff when I came to picking about, protecting the environment. And you hear so many people talk about we need to protect the environment, we need to do good. They say these things that they're wanting to do good and everything, but then their words are saying that. Their actions are doing the complete opposite. So it speaks to the overall hypocrisy of you're saying one thing, you're doing another, and you're an enemy to the earth in a way where either it's more specific when it comes to the environment, when it comes to wherever you're around, when it comes to the people around you, but also it speaks to just how you act as a person, where if I'm going to say one thing but then I'm going to act and go do another, I'm potentially destroying relationships that are around me. I'm destroying the life that's around me. I'm destroying opportunities that are around me, and I'm potentially destroying the earth around me because, yeah, I think it's good where, we need to cut down on fossil fuels and we need to use less gas. And then you go out and buy a truck that needs 30 gallons worth of gasoline in its tank. And every time you drive it, it only gets 10 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, but simply we just want the earth to be a better place to live for today, tomorrow, and so on. So we use this music to sound it to another people.
And I think a big piece behind why it's a success in my mind is when I take a look at the lyrics in the song and how it was written. It was somewhere, again, I could see where the specifics were coming from, but you didn't keep it so specific to exactly what's going on in your village, what's going on in Indonesia, what's going on in there. You left it open enough so that everyone around the world can understand the concept, understand that part of it, but also take a look at other things that are around them where, people are destroying things around them in the name of something else, in the name of money, in the name of the economy, in the name of
Yeah.
political gain. You made it so that people can easily relate to this given whatever situation they're in to exactly what you're talking about. So that is always what I look as the hallmark of a great song for people to connect to.
Yeah, we also join Music Declares Emergency. It's an organization founded by musicians who concerned about
Climate change.
climate change. Yeah, as I said before, we decided to join MDA because we feel that what we want to convey is in line with what they have been sounding so far. And yeah, uh, it's a global issue now. So we make this song uh, that can be related with everyone around the world.
I do like the fact that you joined that group specifically because it speaks to the song that you created, but it also adds even more behind the message. Because when you think about the message of the song a little bit more broad, it's about, people saying one thing and then doing another and destroying things for a different reason. For your music, you're talking about these issues, you're bringing up these issues around the environment, around climate change, and wanting to find a way to actively either put a stop to or fix the problem. And joining this organization, your actions and your words are working together. So when people take a look at Voice of Baceprot, we know that when you say something, you mean it. When you put a message out in your song, you're following through on that with your actions. That is something that not a lot of people do in the world, and it's very refreshing to see that. So that is something I really enjoy from you ladies.
Thank you, Kevin. And also, it's yeah, we think it's now it's not just a song. it's a movement now.
It's definitely a movement that you can continue to build on. You continue to build the band from. You can continue to build your, your own selves from. You can just it's something that you can continue to build everything from. And I'm smiling about it. I can't help it. This is something that I'm really, really happy to see. Again, you're having a message and you're really fully getting behind it with your actions as well. The bands that I really like, my favorite band of all time, they're the exact same way. When they say something, they go out and do it. When they say that they're against animal abuse and they're against factory farming, they all went vegan. They all don't eat meat anymore and protest against that. And again, is it something that maybe I would do myself? Not gonna lie, I do enjoy meat, but I do understand where they're coming from. I absolutely support the band in their decision and absolutely respect the reasoning behind it. So with what you're doing, even though I'm behind exactly what you're saying, I absolutely love that your actions and the message in your song are matching up. So I have to applaud you on that.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much.
So when it comes to this group that you just joined, what are your plans going forward with them as of right now? What do you plan to do with them?
For now,
We have been doing a lot of sonic exploration,
Yeah.
trying out new sounds.
yeah. As I said before, we have recently released a new single called "The Enemy of Art Issue," and yeah, it's an old song that we work as a result of our sonic exploration.
Yes, we want to make music that could cure the boredom that we have been feeling recently.
Yeah.
That is why we have made a few changes to the old version of the songs that will be on our upcoming album, Retas.
Yeah.
We hope that all of our fans we call the Baceprots
Yeah.
are able to
To
wait a
yeah.
little longer.
Wait a little longer. Why do we have to keep waiting? I know there's people that are probably saying we have to keep waiting. Why?
So we spill about our album now.
Yeah.
Well, continuing on, like looking ahead, because you talked about building on this sonic exploration from your sound, what are some of these other pieces in music and some of these other influences that you're looking into to add to your music that you're being inspired by that can help, further form the sound of Voice of Baceprot, further evolve the sound that you have to really create something even more unique than you already have? What have you been influenced by on some of these new songs on this album, and what do you continue to be influenced by on this sonic exploration of your sound going forward?
Now I listen to Rage Against the Machine more loud. Yeah, and then Spirit Box. Yeah, I love their sounds. And then how about you? For this album?
For this album, I listen
Listen
Black Sabbath.
Oh, Black Sabbath. Okay. Yeah, we had different
Different
different genres, different favorite music, and so yeah, favorite songs. How about you? What you listen to for this album?
For this album, I listen to Red Hot.
Yeah.
And System of a Down too. System
Yeah.
of a Down. And then Dream Theater.
Yeah, Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And many more.
a lot of influence for them.
A lot of different influences coming in from all three of you, and that's something that's always great to see. I mean, the bands we heard, Rage Against the Machine, and especially hearing you say Rage Against the Machine, I'm thinking lyrically, thinking about how forcefully they put all their messages out there, how they never held anything back. So I can see where the inspiration comes from there. Spirit Box, especially with Courtney LaPlante fronting the band, and how powerful of a vocalist she is, and how when they came out in 2021, really just powerful. They were the breakout band of 2021 in rock and metal. Everyone knew who they were. And it was all based on, a lot of it was based on Courtney herself and the fact that her voice was just so powerful that it was something that people were just blown away by. Black Sabbath, keeping it with the classics, keeping it grounded, and then hearing System of a Down in there as well, and just smiling at the thought of that. There's so many different influences coming into play here, and when you listen to the music, when you listen to what you have put out already, there's so many other things that are coming together to create that individual sound that you have, where each song, I can tell that from what I've listened to, it is you. It is Voice of Baceprot, but the songs you have out right now, they're not the same. They're not copies of each other. They're not the same style over and over again. There's something different in there. There's different pieces that work together, and that also works along the writing style as well. So having all of your influences come together helps create your own unique sound, which you have completely done here already. And on this new album that you have coming out, it's only going to be, anticipation, because what is going to be on this new album? What's it going to sound like? I'm getting excited for it already, and I don't want to wait any longer.
Yeah, sorry, but you have to.
Ah, darn, we're gonna have to wait longer. Let me ask you this. Is there a date yet for the album to come out? If there is a date and it has not been announced and you can't announce it, I don't want you to. If there is a date, I'd love to know, but if you can't let me know, please don't let me know. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah. So our debut album will be released
On July.
on July. Yeah.
In July. Ooh, that's coming up, so it's not even that much longer of a
Yeah.
wait. Yay!
Yeah. We can't wait too.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of people that probably can't wait. Even when I brought this up to a couple of friends and they're like, well, who are you interviewing today? And I said the name and their faces were pretty much like this. They went from just, normal face to looking like, wait, who did you say? Oh my God, are you serious? And everyone just kind of got excited. So I'm like, okay, there's definitely some excitement here. And now I'm hearing that there's more new music, new album. Oh my God, I'm getting excited even more. I don't even think I can wait till July at this point. Outside of the new album as well, what other plans do you have as a band in 2023, especially when it comes to maybe getting out on the road, touring, going, playing live shows? What else do you have planned? Again, if there are things in the works that you can't talk about, I don't want to hear about them yet because I don't want to get you in trouble. But if there is stuff that you have going on, I'd love to hear about it.
Okay, for 2023.
Yeah.
No. You wanna say something? Oh, okay.
Yeah, after the Enemy of Earth issue, we will be releasing our next single.
Yeah.
What's the Holy Novel Today?
Yeah.
Uh,
It
on
will drop next month.
next month.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have another next single next month. Yeah.
And after that, the big one is debut album.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it will be released in July.
in July.
The name of the album
the name of the album.
is
Kertas.
Kertas. Yeah. And
We will be flying out for our next tour to your country.
yeah, after that we have tour to your country.
See you.
See you.
Wait. Okay. Back up a bit. So there's a tour planned for Voice of Baceprot to come over to the United States?
Yeah. And this is the first time we said it to the media. It's to you. It's to you.
Okay, first thing, I am very happy that I heard that. Second thing, when it comes to dates, when it comes to the bands you're going out with, that is something that I want to leave up to everybody's imagination. I want people to wonder, who are they playing with? When are they coming to the United States? What time frame is it? And most importantly, are they going to come to my city or someplace around me so I can go and get tickets to go and see them play live?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be huge and
We can
we
wait.
can wait. Yeah.
And we will be announcing the tour that's in early June.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for it.
Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for this one because one of my favorite things to do with this podcast is, of course, have every single band that I have on here, talk to them, get to know them, have fun. But then I love going to concerts. I love going to live shows. I was at one last night. I've been at like 6 or 7 already this month, and I just keep going to them more and more because I love going to them so much. I maybe spend too much money on going to shows, but that's just me. But I also love to support every single band I have on the podcast. So that makes me excited because now I don't have to wonder, when am I ever going to get to see Voice of Baceprot? I know it's going to happen this year. Do I know the exact date? No. Do I know where? No. But is it going to happen? Yes, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen soon.
It's going to happen soon. And I have one more question I want to ask all three of you, because I think it's a perfect way to close out this, even after this excitement of more new music, a new album, and coming to tour in the US in 2023. So let's look beyond 2023. Let's go into the future. What is your ultimate goal for Voice of Baceprot in the future? What is your ultimate goal individually and as a band? What do you want to accomplish when everything is completed?
Maybe we want to have another album
Yes.
and then another tour, world tour, maybe
World tour and
World
Indonesian tour.
Indonesian tour, world tour with another band, maybe with System of a Down or
Rage Against
Rage
no,
Against-
no, because
no,
itu
no,
terus bubar.
they will be reunion.
Reunion of Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe tour with Ginger or something, and then yeah, the most important thing is we want to still hold together, like
Yes. More.
more
Lebih kuat.
more strong
Yes.
chemistry. Yeah, so yeah, the important thing is we still together, 3 of us.
Out of everything you said, I think that was the most important thing, is that overall, no matter what happens, no matter how big the band gets, that the three of you stick together, stay strong,
Yeah,
and stay not only friends, but stay as a band, as a family as well. That is one of the most important things. And then hearing about, more, want to go on more tours, want to go and make more music, go to other places, go to Europe, go all across the world, open for a band like Rage Against the Machine and tour with System of a Down. I will be as honest as possible with this. I definitely feel like if Rage Against the Machine gets going again, they would definitely want to take a band like you out on tour with them, given just who you are as people and what your beliefs are and how strongly behind those beliefs you are, especially from more of a maybe economical, social, political sense, especially with a song like, again, what we just talked about with The Enemy of the Earth Is You. Just the message that you put behind there and the way that you explain it, the way that you forcefully put it out there with passion, with energy, and how you follow up on your songs with your actions, that's something that they're going to take a look at and say, we are totally behind this 100%. We want to take this band out on tour with us. It can happen. I want it to happen. I want to see this happen.
yeah, me too.
Me too.
Well, hopefully it does. And now, ladies, as we bring this podcast to its conclusion, one thing I always like to do at the end of this episode is give my guests, which is all three of you in this instance, a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, promote whatever you want to promote at the end of the episode. So, ladies, the opportunity is yours.
Okay. For all the listeners, don't forget to listen to our song. Our new single, The Enemy of Earth Issue, is already in Spotify, YouTube Music, and all digital platforms. And also, don't forget to check our Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and also Facebook. And
Voice of
Voice of
Baceprot.
Baceprot. And also visit our website, www.voiceofbaceprot.com. And also, don't forget to listen to your favorite song too.
Listen to your favorite song too. So for me, it's gonna go. Okay, I'm listening to Voice of Baceprot. Now I'm listening back to Rise
Yeah.
Against. Jumping back to
Thank
Voice
you.
of Baceprot. Jumping back to Rise Against. I'm gonna go in between the two. And now it's time for me to end this episode with 3 very specific things. First thing is first. When it comes to Voice of Baceprot, this is a band you are going to want to follow if you're not already following them. You're going to want to listen to them if you're not already listening to them. You're going to want to support them in any way you can if you're not already doing so. And if you're in the US, you're going to want to watch out for when that tour announcement drops so you can get your tickets as soon as possible to see these 3 incredible women play live. So the best way to do that is by going to the description of the podcast where it says Find Voice of Baceprot online. You're going to see links for all of their socials, links for YouTube, links for their website, links where you can stream their music. So when that new album comes out, you are ready to go and listen to it. All the links are going to be there. So all you have to do is go down, find the one you want, click on it, follow their stuff, stream their stuff, watch their music videos, support them, get some merch from them, get yourself a t-shirt, and also make sure you talk about them if you like their music. Please talk about them. Post about them on whatever social media platform you're on. Post about them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit. Please do it because that is a way as a fan you can continue to help this band grow and really become one of those biggest bands that everyone is wanting to see. We can get them to be at a BabyMetal level rather soon if everyone jumps on board with this. So let's make it happen. Now it is time for number 2. Now, typically, this is something I like to do with bands that I have had on the podcast and I enjoyed having the podcast as a way to say, 1, thank you for taking the time for being on the podcast. And secondly, I want to continue to support the band in any way I can. And I'm going to try and hit on this absolutely when that US tour hits. So when, I have to say when I get to see you perform live for the first time, I will be there and I will try my best to find you to say hi and say thank you for everything that you've done. I'm going to make sure that happens because I want to support you any way I can and I want to say thank you. And if there's a mosh pit, you can pretty much believe that I'm going to be the one in the middle of it the whole entire time.
Yeah. Thank you much.
And now it is time to end this podcast with my third thing. I can't end this by saying goodbye. I think goodbye is way too final. So the reason behind that is, 1, I have a plan to see you play live. I have a promise to come up and say hi and be say thank you. And secondly, as time goes on, I'm going to continue to follow the band. I'm going to continue to watch the band, continue to watch all 3 of you grow. And I would love to have you, all 3 of you, back on the podcast again and just see how much bigger this has gotten, how much more connected you've gotten with fans, how much more connected you've gotten with each other, and just how you've grown all over. I would love to have you back on the podcast in the future. So saying goodbye is way too final. So I like to end these podcasts by saying this. I'll see you later.
See you later. See you later.
Well, folks, this is my interview with Marsha, Widi, and Sitti from the band Voice of Baceprot. And now it's time for Kevin's final thought. This one was one that I was very interested to do, very happy to do, very excited to do, and a little bit nervous because I just didn't know what we were all going to get. I knew that it was going to be a great episode, but I didn't know where it was going to go. And what I learned from this episode was what I had thought about with these 3 ladies when it came to Voice of Baceprot, with them together, when it came to everything that they had done. They reminded me so much of the Warning and BabyMetal put together in terms of not sound, but in terms of their outlook, their drive, and their continue to do something new and continue to do something great in a male-dominated field. And I'm just not going to lie, they stand out. I mean, when I first saw their photo and it was the 3 girls wearing hijabs, I thought, this is something I haven't seen before. So naturally, for me being a rock and metal fan, I'm interested. As a rock and metal fan, put everything aside. Don't think about, if you have any prejudices, get rid of them for this. Go and check out this band. The sound is there. You're going to want to listen to it. You're going to want to embrace it. A brand new debut album coming out in July. a tour in the US that they're announcing in June. You're going to get a chance to go and see them if you're in the US. I'm going to get a chance to go and see them. How cool is that? It's the mindset behind these girls. It's their drive. It's their passion. I mean, Sitti, not having a drum set at home, writing while banging on drum pads and pillows. That blew my mind. And they're still writing music based off of that. We gotta get this girl a drum kit for her to play at home. We gotta make it happen. We gotta support them. Talk about Voice of Baceprot to your friends. Talk about them on those different channels, on those different forums, on those different groups, on Reddit. Let's go and support these ladies because they absolutely deserve it. And this is a group you're going to want to watch going forward. I really would love to see them open for BabyMetal. I would love to see them open for The Warning. I would love to see them open for Rage Against the Machine. Even selfishly for myself, I would love to see them go and open for Rise Against. That could work. That could absolutely work. And honestly, I'm just smiling after this. This is a band that I went from not knowing before a YouTube comment told me to go check them out. I went and looked for that YouTube comment before I recorded this, and I couldn't find it anymore. That just speaks to maybe fate, maybe destiny, I don't know. But taking a chance and saying, let's give this band a chance and see what they are just sonically. I had no idea what their sound was like when I first saw that YouTube comment. And then to bring them onto the podcast and have an absolute blast like this is a band that we are going to be behind. And you know those bands that we're behind 100% here at the Chord Progression Podcast. Kingdom Collapse is one of them. I mean, we're behind every band that we've brought on, but there are some that always we go the extra mile. We're absolutely behind. Kingdom Collapse, Outlier, Caskets, Varsity, Avoid, Voice of Baceprot. Oh, yeah. So making sure that you can, join us in supporting Voice of Baceprot to the fullest, go to the description of the podcast where it says find Voice of Baceprot online. There's going to be links and labels for everything when it comes to their social media, when it comes to where you can stream the music, when it comes to where you can get some merch, and where you can go and see them live when they come to the US when they announce that tour. So go click on your favorite link, go and follow along with them, and talk about them to your friends. Talk about them on social media. Talk about them in those different groups and those different Reddit subreddits. Just go and do it. Let's go and support these ladies. Make sure also come in and support us on the Chord Progression Podcast. We're on Facebook and Instagram primarily, so go and follow us on those platforms where you get all the extra content, all the social stuff, and you can connect with us directly on those platforms. You message us, I'll be the one that answer it. Also, make sure you go and hit subscribe on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well to help us out in the algorithm. On top of that as well, if you're on Spotify, Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or any of the audio streams, hit that subscribe button as well. It absolutely helps us to make sure that we are continuing going forward and bringing on even better guests continually, like Voice of Baceprot, like Woe Is Me. Yeah, because that's tomorrow. Like what we're trying to do, bring back Caskets, Conquer Divide, Holding Absence, Plush, Mammoth WBH, From Ashes to New, Volbeat, Seven Dust, bring back The Warning, Polaris, Make Them Suffer, Bloodywood, The Word Alive. Yeah, I'm going for all of these. We're going for your support. Absolutely is worth it. And enjoy all the reaction stuff we're doing on the podcast as well on YouTube. Also want to thank Phoenix Fitness for supporting this podcast. Remember, 20% off. Use the code CPP20 at fnx.com. Links for the podcast. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness. Thank you, ladies from Voice of Baceprot. This one was a blast. I cannot wait to meet you in person. I cannot wait to see you play live and be the one in the middle of the mosh pit the whole entire time. So on that note, that's going to be it for me today, gang. Everybody, yeah. Should I retry that? Yeah, let's retry that. That's going to be it for me today. Third time's a charm. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single voice. Up to the big, healthy, and hearty. See ya!